Today we got some BBQ chicken. It's National Wing Day apparently, so I got an email saying that you get a little discount if you get any kind of wings, a bunch of them. So I wanted to try this one again since we're doing all the franchises. If you've never had it before, it is a Korean fried chicken place. The food here is really, really good. Pretty large amount of sauces on here. So I've done most of them. There's one I haven't done, I believe, which I'm going to do today, and then my favorite. But if you've never had it before, they got a nice selection of stuff, which we're gonna go through today. Man, drop a thumbs up. You already know the vibes. This is the chicken. Let's get into this video. Number one ordered flavor at this establishment, which is the honey garlic wings. Now these are the bone-in. They also do have boneless, which I did get. I'm not a fan of it, but some people were saying you have to try the boneless wings, so why not? Honey garlic is the most ordered one. They changed these. This is similar to banchan. It was not like this last time. Listen, that's not a complaint. I like banchan. Honey garlic, but I can just tell by the... You hear that? This was not like this last time. Now they got me excited. Get these wings. Get these wings. I don't even want to say nothing, but we gonna talk. Oh my Lord. Okay. Now I'm gonna go back and see if I have footage from the other orders of BBQ chicken I've gotten. I've been here about 3 or 4 times. The breading has never been like this. Whoever changed this, I just want to say thank you. These are delicious, bro. They're even better than before. Before it was just like your normal breaded wing, but this again is that twice fried. It's similar to banchan. Now the difference here, which is why this might have just taken the lead, is that these have a lot more different sauces. They don't have honey garlic there. Now let's talk about the sauce after I get another bite. The honey garlic, again, a lot of these places that are elite, the balance on it's perfect. And this is like a two-tone. First bite into it, really sweet from the honey, and then there's a super garlicky kick at the end. For people who don't like spicy food, I highly suggest you get these. There's zero spiciness, but the flavor is like perfect balance. I'm over here. Sorry. Of honey and garlic. The twice fry is super crispy. That's also gonna make these save really well, but the texture on it is perfect. And again, they cook these. I have a bag over here for my garbage. I know somebody who... I'm not putting it on my car seat. This is the best one I've ever done. Wow, okay. I have to stop eating those, but some of my favorite wings that I've done with this, now they have spicier things that I'm gonna like even more for sure, but non-spicy factor, some of the best I've had, and these get a solid 9.2 out of 10. They're really, really damn good. They did something here. I also do have to say this, I did put the price up. I got a discount on these. Normally it's like $14 for 8 wings. That is steep, I understand. These days, that's a crazy price, but that's what they cost for anybody goes in there. I did spend about $68 on these because of the National Wing Day 25% off up to $15. I did end up getting like a $15 discount. Now these, I try to do as much research as I can to not mess up pronunciations, but I know some people that are native speakers or might speak and understand more than me. I don't understand Korean at all. Might like try to laugh at me for how I do things. I do try, I promise. So this right here, please be nice. I was playing. Y'all can do what y'all want to. I'm just messing with y'all. These are Jung, and it's a soy-based sauce with extra spice. It has a cinnamon and chili garnish on it. Now, these are the boneless. I've never done the Jung. People kept saying the boneless is better at these places. I don't agree with that, but, you know, that's why we do these things. The breading on this is very similar, again. You definitely get that cinnamon right away. I love the sticky sauces that coat things instead of being drowned in it because it keeps it like crispier in my opinion. Now there's chilies here. Spice level, you know, they do like 1 to 4 or 5 stars here. I would say it's about a 2. Small hint of it, but I'm gonna get the bite here with the chili on there. It adds flavor, but not spice. I like the cinnamon kind of vibe on this with the spice though. And a little bit of the salty from the soy. Now this is a user error on me. I wanted to get something a little bit spicier. I didn't check the spice level on this. I prefer the spicier wings again, but if you're asking about the boneless texture and everything, really, really good. I love what they did with the breading on this. And I would definitely get these again. My favorite still is the spicy galbi and the secret spicy. I just like a little more kick, but there is a kick on this just ever so slightly. I would give these an 8 out of 10. Again, the cinnamon's good, but I'm just more of a spicy guy and more of a sweet. There's not that much sweet in here. I do have to say this again. The texture, the juiciness of this is really, really on point. Really on point. These boneless are better than Banchan's boneless, 100%. This is something that was not on the menu last time. They had rice, but it was only kimchi and I believe chicken fried rice. So this is their Caribbean bowl. So it has Caribbean chicken on it with rice and vegetables. And I didn't know this was even a thing on their menu before. It looks like there's eggs in here as well. Let me get a piece of this chicken and what looks like maybe onions. Damn, I didn't know there was raw onions in here, bro. Car gonna stink. Oh well. Let me get a bite of this Caribbean bowl. Now they do have a Caribbean sauce, so I'm gonna guess that's what's on the chicken. Their Caribbean has allspice. Like, they do have that. It's not jerk. So people might see this and say it doesn't taste like jerk. It's not supposed to. It more has the spices that you would get like in oxtail or something like that. Some of them. So I'm getting that clove, that allspice, like ginger kind of vibe. Get a little bit of the creaminess from that. Let me grab one of these onions since they're there. I don't really think the onions are necessary. I love 2P mayo. It's a Japanese mayo. It's a little bit creamier. And I used to make a lot of my meal prep, believe it or not. I would save calories just to put QP mayo in my rice. And that's really good. The egg, just scrambled eggs. The onions add a little bit of that like flavor to it. That bite you get from that onion. And the chicken is nice and crispy. This wouldn't be my first choice from this place, but it's like one of those things you can see I can't stop eating it. It is good. And I like the spice on the Caribbean. Even more from the first time. Again, the chicken's nice and crunchy and juicy. It's more rice than anything, but I love rice. I might save this. I still think their chicken is the best thing, but this is nice. I think it was 13 and change. I would get it again, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll give it a 7 out of 10 though. Just being real. It's just not the best thing on the menu, but just solid. 7 sometime. I'll take 7s all day. Morning, I love these damn fries. I've had them a lot. One of my favorite things from this place, I think they do better than any Korean place I've done so far, which there will be plenty more. So they got these Cheesling Fries. The Cheesling Fries is like this dusting of this cheese blend. I don't get the regular fries from here, I get the Cheesling. Now I'm gonna use a fork. My damn fork, I don't use a fork. Forget it. But the Cheesling sauce is like this Parmesan-y bite. It's sweet, you know. It's like powdered cheese. And I never was a fan of Cheesling wings anywhere. I've had it like 4 or 5 different places. They have my favorite Cheesling wings that I've gotten. And then they add that sweet sauce to this. So, in lieu of ketchup, it's like a sweet barbecue-ish, Korean barbecue-ish type of sauce with the green onions. I love these, man. They're so good. Banchan's fries are like S tier. This is like right underneath. But to make me like Cheesling, you gotta try the Cheesling. Nice. Stop showing the... No. Y'all need to eat with me. I'm sorry. I could just eat this whole damn thing right now. Alright, we big backed over here. I'm gonna stop eating. after one more. There's not much to them, but that Cheesling sauce, even on the wings, is really, really good. Chain scale, these are a 9.4 out of 10. Some of the best, but not the best. I can name 2 places off the top of my head. If you watch my videos, I've been to one recently which are the best, but damn, these are good. The thing that they don't have that other places have is the other places have a better fry on theirs. Even to go. I've taken them home and they had a better fry. I got this one time at bb.q Chicken, and I've gotten it every time since. Another thing that I may mess up the pronunciation, but just know that it's really, really good. This is Rose, specifically Duck Bucky. Again, could screw that up, but it's something like that, I hope. I tried. But they're rice cakes. Now, normally they're in a spicy sauce. The Rose is like a pink sauce that isn't spicy. It's a little sweet. And then they have cheese, fish flakes. Now, I'm not joking with you. I've eaten these types of rice cakes at different places, even my favorite Korean place, and I wasn't the biggest fan of them. This place, with this Rose, it's perfect to me. It's like the carbonara version that you get from like the Buldak, but like the homemade, delicious version. Stop talking. I am not a rice cakes person when it comes to Korean food. This is so good to me. So good. On their menu, it is the number 3 most ordered thing. I'm not gonna see why. Rice cakes texturally for me are, it's hot, so I'm starting to tear. Not spicy, but like temperature hot. They're a little like chewy, and the texture can be off-putting for some people, but it don't even matter with this. Now there's an egg in here, hard boiled, which adds a little bit of creaminess if you do something to that. But with the vegetables, and I'll eat this whole damn thing. I gotta stop. All those things together just make for something that, in my opinion, is like really good. And a lot of people agree because, again, it's very popular, and I was told to order this by a lot of people who watched the video on it that I put out before. One more. It's so good. And I don't even eat these, and I like this stuff. For me, on a chain scale, I don't really have much of a reference, but against any of them that I've eaten so far, any of them, whether it's a chain or not, these get a solid 9.3 out of 10. The thing for me, again, is the texture of this is always still just, for me, not, I like, if you could put some chicken in this or something, I'd probably like it even more. You know, I'm gonna put what it says on the screen because I just think I'm gonna screw this up, but it's rice cakes and sausage, so it's like a popular street food snack, I guess, and they're supposed to have this sauce with it as well. So rice cake, but these are like fried. The other ones are not fried, so let's see what this tastes like just by itself. They should fry these more often. They still have that chew to them that, again, I'm not the biggest fan of, but I like the texture of the outside fry. I don't know what kind of sauce this is. It's like a barbecue. A little sweeter. Similar to Korean barbecue. It might be Korean barbecue sauce, but that's what I'm getting. And you got these little sauces. These are $5.95. You get 2 of those in an order. So 2 of these skewers. That tastes just like, you know, that might even actually be Hillshire Farms Little Smoky. Like exactly what it is. I'm gonna tell you a story after I finish this one right here. Little Smokies are wild. All right, so let's do it both at the same time. That is enjoyable together. It almost eats like a sausage sandwich with a rice cake. The rice cakes are really plain. There's nothing on them. It's just a texture thing. And you add the smokiness of the sausage with the sweetness of the barbecue sauce. And you got something where I'm like, oh, okay, I see where this was going. For sure. This is like a little street food snack. It's nothing spectacular. I don't mind it. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Tastes like Iowa to me, though. Let me tell you a story about Iowa. Iowa has things that they, in their Midwestern culture, live by. Casey's Pizza. These little pickle things with cream cheese and ham they roll up. And Little Smokies. You will be hard-pressed to go to any gathering in the state of Iowa where they don't make this little finger food. I went to a bunch of them. I lived there and went to school for 6 years, okay? They have this get-together thing where you take like a crock pot, and it's like the easiest recipe in the world. You take barbecue sauce, and you take Little Smokies, you put them in the crock pot, and you just leave them in there. Every once in a while, somebody will come through and be like, oh, I added a little bit of something to it, but that's like the traditional one. Anybody watching from Iowa, man, I love y'all. Y'all got y'all stuff that y'all do. It was like the safest thing to me to get at these parties a lot, because like, you know, like football establishments. One time we were in the playoffs, and we had to go to my coach's house for Thanksgiving. That's the first time I ever had Thanksgiving not at home. Because in FCS, your playoffs start the week after the season, and that's the end of November, so you go right into the playoffs. We didn't get to go home. So I had never eaten Thanksgiving outside of my family before. My coach didn't look like me, if you get what I'm saying, which I didn't mind. Really nice. The food was good, but they had those Little Smokies there. And at first, because when I was younger, I was afraid to try new things. Like, what I am now is not what I was. So I sat there, because we all got there early, and I ate these Little Smokies. Everybody else is having all this, like, casseroles. I don't trust people's casseroles, because I can't see you make it. That was me back then. So I used to just eat the Little Smokies and be like, I guess this is safe. Just reminded me of that. That's the story, bro. I have one more thing that I want to talk about. I hate being like this voice of wisdom, and I don't freaking know everything, bro. Like, I don't. I'm not like some sort of omnipotent being, but I try to take lessons in either my own failures or seeing what other people do that I'm like, yeah, it's probably not a good idea. And one of the things I've learned as I've gotten older is to not make emotional decisions, especially at work. Especially at work. But in general, when you make a decision, or when you do things, don't let your emotions run you. And if you feel like you're getting emotional, back away from the situation, think about it, and then come back. So in this particular situation, which I've seen has kind of been all over the internet, and I couldn't believe it. So this woman was a nurse. And I say was because was a nurse. Had a patient that come in that she knew personally, and she didn't like her, right? She, like, the patient, she didn't like her. So I don't know what the patient was there for, because I didn't see what actual, the paper that she put out was, but more or less she put on her Snapchat, close friends, this girl's chart, like her My Chart. You don't know what My Chart is? It's like your medical records. Like, so anything that happens, no matter what kind of nasty stuff happens to you, go to the hospital, it's there in detail, plain detail. So you could be doing some wild stuff, and I don't know what it said, but she didn't like her, so she put it on her close friends in the Snapchat group. Someone in that close friend saw that and was like, that's really effed up, and put it and told her superiors. So she lost her medical license. She's a nurse. Nurses, you gotta work really hard to be a nurse. I know people look at nurses like it's beneath a doctor, and that's neither here nor there, but you gotta go to school like crazy to be a nurse. You gotta go through clinicals. When I was in college, like, we had a big nursing program, so I saw what all these young ladies and some dudes would go through to be a nurse. Like, you gotta go through clinicals. Some of the stories these girls would tell me, just like about how long the hours were, or like, you know, you got to change bedpans and you name it, which is cool. Like, you got to go through that to be a nurse. You got to pass the MCATs, etc. And all those years of hard work, you're guaranteeing yourself, now that you're working, a good salary, make a good living. This woman in particular had a child. And if you don't know about HIPAA, you can't put people's medical records out there. Like, that is a serious ass violation. So they took her nursing license. She can't practice. She'll never be a nurse again. More than likely, she might get sued. The hospital might get sued. There's going to be some backlash. We don't know how far it's going to go, but it's not just going to go away by you're fired. Not with HIPAA. HIPAA is serious stuff. So she lost her job. She's probably going to lose a lot of money. She's probably going to, even worse, we don't know what's going to happen. And you, all because you didn't like somebody and you felt like you wanted to, you know, be funny. So I know a lot of people these days, we act like we're invincible. And like, you may say some stuff, or you know, you get mad and you start getting Twitter fingers, or you know, you want to bully people on the internet, and you don't I've seen it happen time and time again where somebody says something crazy, they find out who you are because you got a burner account, but it ain't that hard to not find you. You get it leaked out there, you lose your job, you lose. I know people say, oh, I don't believe in cancel stuff and all that kind of stuff like that. Being canceled is one thing. HIPAA is another thing. Like, they don't play with HIPAA because that's legal. And when it comes to companies, whether you like it or not, when you do something crazy that reflects bad on them as your employer, they gonna give you the KO. Even me, I can't say what I want to on this platform. I can't. Like, I'm not saying I have bad things to say. I'm saying I just can't start saying crazy stuff. Like, they'll get me out of here because they sell ad space on here to companies, and if they feel like I'm doing bad to hurt their brand, they don't care. We all got bosses, bro. So at the end of the day, I know everybody feels like they got their own little soapbox on the internet. This is a whole different thing. Like, that is a violation of HIPAA, which is different. But even with that, I know people feel like, well, I can say what I want to. You can. Depending on who you work for, you might not be able to just say what you want to. So just understand that and move accordingly, man. I love y'all. I just wanted to say that because I saw the story like 2 hours ago. I thought it was crazy. But we'll be back tomorrow. More content, man. At Hand Signs. They made it to YouTube.